Let's see.
All right.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Chilling, man. Chilling, chilling.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Let's continue to chat.
All right. Yeah. So who was we talking about?
Man, we was talking about
Oh, I remember.
the ego and dying and life continuing.
Yeah. So I don't even think the ego died. Really, it's just that it seemed like it died when we put it back in its place, and
Mm,
it's loud. And then when we put it in its place, it gets quiet. It take we can silence it if we desire. It's still gonna be there. It's just gonna be with the mouth hush.
then
You know
also,
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
that's why we like that is because we can't imagine ourselves being a whole nother personality. We can't imagine us not being who we are right now. Like, cause we so immersed in this who we are that we cannot imagine like being anything else. I think that's the feeling of dying, not being there. Like, damn,
Oh,
if
like
I'm not this, I don't exist.
oh yeah,
But really, you do.
like the physical body, like not
Yeah,
like
the
trying to
personality
imagine like
of
not
who I
being.
am right now,
Yeah, like oh
like
I'm
the Eric right now.
right. Like so when you first said it, I was thinking about like like I could change my job or title, or I could change my like certain things like that. But when it comes to you know there's like attachments, like people race, nationality, uh
Hmm.
personality type, horoscope, gender, all these different
Exactly.
ideas that, like you said, it's like if I don't have that, who am I? I'm nothing.
All right.
Yeah, you
I
are
know,
nothing.
right? That's
You're
the
no
fear. I
thing.
think that's the
You're
fear of death right
transcendent.
there.
You're beyond things. Things are accumulations. Things can never be, you know, what you are. Things aren't beings. Things are things. things aren't things
Hmm.
aren't conscious beings.
Mm.
But we
Yeah, I
but
think
we
that's where the
think that
fear
they.
comes from. Yeah, man, that's an interesting concept to think about. To think about that you can be more than just your physical vessel. Like, damn. Like,
Yeah.
after this, what am I? Where am I? Who am I? What do I do?
Yeah.
Do I have the will to do anything else? Can I control? Do I have the control to be anything else? Like, we can't really fathom that while we so immersed in our human body.
that will I have the will to be anything else? That's a deep question. I could remember some years ago me just pondering that question, like without the ego identity being so prominent, like what's gonna be the driving force? Because if you're used to the ego driving life, that's a
Mm,
whole different mode of operating than when the ego takes a passenger seat, and now you're just driven by like pure inspiration, just tapping in spontaneous spontaneously into whatever your vibe is and going with your highest inspiration at every moment. That's like a completely different, you know, that's a completely different situation. And if you an ego, you can't even do that efficiently because it's you too distracted by other things that
mm,
serve the feeling of security of the ego, or that create separation by like if your motivation to do something is like doubt or scarcity or something of that nature, then it's not just motive then you're not just being motivated by being inspired by something just pure that's inspiring you
See, I
spontaneously in
think,
that
man,
moment.
it's hard to even imagine. It's hard to even imagine being inspired by anything that don't got nothing to do with this personality that I am. Like, man, I can't imagine, like, damn, where's my inspiration coming from if it's not me, the personality who I am somehow, my name,
Yeah.
my where I grew up at, or what I do, my career aspirations. Like, what
Yeah.
is the motivation? Like, without all of that stuff, without my body and how I think, where is that really even coming from now?
Yeah.
Then you get into your spirit consciousness. And then you got to figure out what
Yeah. Yeah.
that wants to do.
Yeah.
Man, that's like a whole nother level of being. That's high.
Yeah.
Hi, cousin Eric. Who that?
Who's up in here? Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's my cousin.
What up, cuz? Thanks for joining the chat.
What's happening, Tristan?
But
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
man.
I'm thinking it's like that spiritual awareness or consciousness of that sense of self beyond ego. Like I see that as being almost like a seed. Like the personality um is accumulated from the intent of that seed. Like that seed is intent, and the intent isn't something that it wants. The intent is structured in what it is, and it brings to it by virtue of its vibrational structure the personality that you have, the physical
Mm,
body that you have, the name that you have, like the you beyond the personality, the mind, and the physical body. You beyond that drew everything that you identify with to itself to be expressed in this realm.
mm.
Although
That's,
all of those things are not it, they're only accumulations in the likeness of that which is transcendent.
mm. That's man. That's a deep subject. Like to get to that state of being, you gotta like meditate so much and to like detach yourself from your personality and actually feel your spirit. That is that
Yeah,
is a feat to do. Like even just imagining thinking about it, it's like, wow, damn, where am I going? Like it is a kind of fear there because it's like, damn, do I lose myself? Do I lose who I am when I'm trying to think about that?
yeah, yeah. And it's like I think it's like depends. Like if you're the ego, if you think you're the ego, right, then you
Yeah.
lose that. But you was never the ego to begin with. When you lose that,
Mm,
it's you're uncovering what you really are. And so the ego has something to do with that, but it often needs to be if it's been taking a leading role, it needs to be purified. It needs to be cleaned up because
mm,
it's kind of a
true.
mess. These you got to
How you
put that one
purify? How
back.
you clean it up? What you do for that? How you clean it up? How you purify?
You got to put it in its place first. So you have to be master over the ego. I think so there's that story in the um in the comedic in the comedic tradition they talk about like the Anubis scale and having heart light as a feather.
Oh yeah, heart
See,
weighing against the feather.
the ego does not like um lighthearted silliness. Like you can't just be just free and
Mm,
woo woo and just you know what I'm saying, just silly, making funny faces like that just breaks the ego. Making
mm.
funny nonsensical noises. The ego has to be composed and you could break the ego.
That's like
And
being
the
a
great
child,
thing
really.
about breaking, when you break it, you put it into submission, and where it's healthy. And when you break
Right.
the ego, then you can go into a channeling state
Mm.
where and you could do different. Well, you can do different
See,
things
that's
in the
like
channel.
that's deeper levels of meditation right there. That
Mm-hmm.
mind gotta be trained. 'Cause, man, everybody monkey mind gotta be trained. That's like not for the regular common folk. The regular common folk, they mind is everywhere all at once, swiping, 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 looking, scrolling, thinking
Yeah,
about this, thinking about that. And it's not like focused. right at the
Yeah.
point and reaching up to your own spirit instead of reaching up to your personality. Like that's a
Yes.
whole nother realm you trying to attain.
Yeah.
So it definitely take training to reach those levels of higher thinking
It
instead
does.
of superficial surface level thinking. A lot of people at the surface not trained to go beyond just who they are. That's a
Yeah.
work in progress. That comes along with training, like you know how we do physical training, working on our body. Man, you gotta do that on levels of mind too. Your mental gotta be trained to go beyond your superficial qualities, your physicality.
Yeah. It does. It you could use the physical. You could use the physical training to get there too, because the
I mean, they
mind,
like the
like when I
same
think
thing to
about
me.
it, is exactly. It's a mind body. It's like time and space. It's space time, and we have a mind body.
Hmm.
It's one and the same. Like if you relax your physical body, your nervous system, your mind starts to, excuse me, I got this carbonated water. Your mind
Mm.
starts to relax,
Hmm.
you know. And when so you could relax your body, relax your breathing, relax your mind, and then you're gonna be in a much more that state is much more many things. But I think of the analogy of like readiness and presence. But
Mm.
readiness is like you're really ready for you're more ready for life in the most basic sense. You know,
Hmm.
um, you know,
Restful
you're a
alertness.
boxer. You're a boxer, so you know when you're going in a ring in order to punch hard, you can't enter the ring all stiff. You got to be
Oh,
loose, right?
tensed up. Yep. Man, that
And when
reminds
you
me of a Bruce
loose,
Lee quote. He's
yeah,
like, I remain calm and ready. So, I train, you train so much for this moment that he was like, I do not hit, it hits all by itself.
yeah, yeah,
So it's like a
yeah.
calm,
That one.
restful readiness and alertness to react to the situation. Man, that's a higher level of thought right there. It's
Yeah,
like in Dragon Ball Super, like Ultra Instinct. You're just automatically reacting to the situation because you done seen it so many times and your body is so conditioned to react to it that it
yeah,
makes the perfect action every time. That's training. That's what training do.
yeah.
You make the perfect action in the situations. You make the perfect actions all the time,
All the
and
time.
that's mental and physical training.
Mm. I mean, I think relaxation is the key, but relaxing relaxing the mind, the physical body, the breathing, but not like sleepiness, not like lethargy, but
Yeah,
readiness, like relaxed but
sharp.
engaged, like a
Yeah.
like a fighter or like a wild animal. You know,
Mm.
you can even look at the squirrel. He over there getting busy, getting acorns and stuff, but he look around. He's
You
like,
always looking around,
and he
boy. Head
he
on the
he
swivel.
he, he ready. And if something happens, he hear a door slam. He's relaxed. He moving quick and all that, but he's like agile. He's like
Hmm.
relaxed, you know, and he's gonna move quickly and swiftly. You
That's
know, it's
like
just
being
that ready.
in tune, boy. That's like watching animals. That's kind of like a transcendental type of thing, boy, because they are like so in the moment, like,
Yeah,
and they can be whatever they need to be in any moment. Like they watching and feeling and sensing constantly. Like that's like watching an animal is like the ultimate level of being present. Like
mm,
being so present that all of your mind is focused in this point of
yeah,
view. It's not thinking about the future. It ain't thinking about the past. No. Squirrel ain't thinking about, oh, I gotta go home to my tree right now. Gotta get these nuts, man. It's like so present. All right, I got these nuts. I'm eating them right now. I'm looking for more food. Like the awareness, like even like when I fight, that's the only time like my awareness is really so present. It ain't thinking about the past or the future or what I do in my personal life. My mind is on the fight. Like it's so my spirit and mind body connection is like all the way there. And that's the
Yeah.
only time I ever feel like that level of focus and presence. And then after the moment is over, after you're done fighting, it's like your mind like not is not so condensed in the moment no more. It spreads out. All right, I can relax into reality now and think like a regular human. I
Yeah.
don't have to put all of my energy in this one moment. And
Yeah.
man, when you put your energy into one moment, it's like you become the moment.
You do.
You are
You do.
just, it's like the moment moving you. You're not even moving. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it felt like when I'm in the zone, like the athletic zone, it's like the moment is not even, it's like I am the moment. I am all of this and it's
Yeah.
moving through me. And I'm just like, I'm not even in control. I feel like a puppet at that point, but I still feel like I'm me at the same time. What they call that?
Um,
What level of consciousness is that? That shit, cosmic consciousness.
cosmic. Uh, yeah, it sound like that.
It's like the moment is me and I am the moment. And I'm not really
Yeah.
doing anything. I'm just observing. I'm just looking. Like that's how I feel to be so like caught in the moment and in the zone, what they call the athletic zone. Like
Oh yeah.
that's one of the dopest times to experience yourself.
It is, man. It's like I feel like everything else pales to that in a way. Like just being every other mind state that I've experienced pales to that clear, singular, focused, purely present mind.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like, it's no hesitation, no fear, no um, it's just pure. It's just a pure moment.
it
It's
is
a
pure.
pure moment, you know?
It's like being active, reactive, sensing, feeling. It's like your heart and your mind is working in total union.
Yeah,
It's like your brain is fully activated and your heart is fully activated, and then it's working through your body. It's like it's like the ultimate state of being as a human because
yeah,
you're using all of your centers, using your heart, your mind, and your body, and your
yeah,
guts, your gut mind. You're
yeah,
using all of your instincts in one moment when you like compete or fight or shoot, even play basketball. But for me, it's fighting, being in the
yeah,
ring. I'm using everything I have. It ain't nothing left that I'm not using. I'm using everything.
yeah. Everything, man. I think it's like, I don't know, that's just a dope moment to feel that way. And
Man,
it
what do you
changes
do? What
everything
do
like
you do?
after
What do
having
you
that
do to get to
experience.
that state, yo?
What you say?
What do you do to get to that state?
Really, man, I just gotta want to.
Mm,
Like I usually when it comes to different states of mind, I can will myself there and just go there. The first time I went there, as far as the state we're talking about right now, the
mm,
specific state felt kind of animalistic. It was really just clearing the chatter out of my mind. And I went there again and I reflected on it and I was thinking, I bet this is how we was born. And I think people
mm.
try so hard meditating to get back to this state or similar states, but most of the time, if my mind is distracted, it's by the words. That's just what I noticed. most of the time my mind is distracted is by language, just spelling
Mm.
words. You know what I mean? And I'm
Hmm.
like, if I didn't understand how to speak or use words, I wouldn't think that way. What would my thoughts be like?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Would I even think? Would I even be in my head that much?
Right? Get your
We're
mind.
born without language. We Google and
Mm.
Gaga, but we don't. We're not. Forming sentences and paragraphs. We're just observing the world. They're like, when you're young, your connections is wide open. Yeah, it's probably because you're not overthinking everything.
Right.
You hadn't learned no language yet.
Thinking in your brain, translating, all that.
Yeah.
Man. So yeah, your
And
pure state is as a child to be like a child. That's probably why ain't that a quote in the Bible? To be like, be as innocent as a
probably,
child or something like that.
probably. I can't quote it exactly
I don't
where,
either.
anything
But I
like
heard
that.
that somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
But
that
and then
somewhere.
and I think animals like wild animal. I think animals get a little bit different when they domesticated. They be all anxious. They have everything that people have.
Yeah.
Dogs and cats be diabetic and everything else. When
Man,
they,
those captivity animals, boy, they ain't in shape at all. They don't got their instincts. They just they just look I don't know. They look pretty sloppy to me. Boy, they look like Americans. Oh God, boy.
yeah,
They ain't
especially
got no
dogs.
athleticism. They look like they sit down all day.
They do. A lot of them do, man.
They all on
They
drugs.
all on drugs, man.
It's,
All on man. But like, I'm just thinking about the wild animal and like, or the human being, like the human being that never learned language, but
mm,
learn through the senses, learn what to eat in nature, learn, how to climb trees, learn how to chase down animals or whatever. Just learn just whatever is natural, you know.
hmm.
But hasn't learned society and language and
Yeah.
religion and belief systems and policies and all this stuff
Yeah.
that
All these different constructs make the mind slow down.
all these constructs. Yeah,
And
and
then your mind attached to all of these different ideas too. Man, that's probably slow you down so much. Cause
hey,
then I'll be imagining the mind like, okay, you can say the mind is this orb of power that you got in you. And then
okay,
every time you think about something, an arm reach out of that orb of power and it grabs something and attaches itself to something else, to an idea, a place, or a thing, or religion. And then you got
yeah,
all these arms in your mind just reaching out, attaching to all these different things, making your spirit heavy. So
yeah,
your whole shit is slowed down because you got all of these different type of attachments. Man, that's why I think like a
yeah,
lot of the spiritual gurus be like, don't have any attachments. Shit, you be able to move faster. You be able to think faster. You able to operate more presently, efficiently.
yeah,
Because we not grabbing on to all these ideologies and ideas that
yeah,
are the real things that slow us down.
yeah. And I think it's like I think the original attachment that's so detrimental is the identity or the false identity of who we are when we believe that we're the persona or the personality. The
Mm,
personality that just comes from the word persona. That means a mask. It's something you put on.
mm,
So if persona or the personality is what you put on, then that can't be you.
yeah,
But hey, how you gonna tell somebody that? Like,
man, that's the only time I felt that like really that my body was like a suit and a persona was when I was on some plant medicine. Boy, I
mm,
feel like I was just like in the background and my body was just my body and it was like a suit and then I could go anywhere and experience anything.
yeah,
That plant medicine deactivate your ego, yo.
man,
It deactivate who you think you are and show you what you really are. And that you can go into multiple different places, states of being, states of mind, other different beings, and be that. and not just this. This is just a suit that you zip up and play your part. You play your role in the movie as this main character until, you know, when the movie over, you switch and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, man, I definitely got the experience of going, you know, of losing my whole ego identity and going other places and traveling.
Mm,
Mentally, though,
mm,
it's a mental travel into different states of being,
yeah.
different bodies.
Mm,
Shoot, what we really are, shit, we are our mind, a kind of mind that is, you know, that's able to go and focus on many different experiences throughout the whole universe.
yeah. I don't even. I think the mind is stretched across the universe. I don't even think it's local. Like the brain, I say the brain is a receiver and a transceiver,
And
maybe a processor to a certain extent. But I think the mind, the power of, I think mind power, brain power can't even compare to mind power. I think the brain
brain
is
is like just a
like a
receiver to the
like a
mind.
Wi-Fi or
Like,
something.
yeah, it's just a signal. Like the real
It's a
person, the
router.
real thing is
Yeah,
the controller making the mind move and do shit.
yeah. And like you got like so I got this phone in my hand. Say my brain was like the phone, but my mind is like the internet. You
Mm,
know, the only difference is the phone in this case would be part of the internet as well.
damn,
It would be a condensed part of the internet.
it's just yeah, a local part.
Yeah,
Concentrated. It's like a code. Like this
yeah,
code is operating in a certain way. It has a certain function, but it's really all of it. The code.
it's really
It's like how the Matrix was, because it saw everything in codes. But
yeah,
all of
yeah.
those codes are signatures to, you know, something that's in reality.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
Dang.
yeah. Endless codes, man. Just
Then even with codes, like man, just reading codes out in reality and making it practical. Like a person, you know, that operate at a certain vibration, they giving off of a code, and you can use your heart to feel the code and translate it in your mind and body, and then you can operate like that code too.
mm,
Or you able to sense other codes out there that are like a signature, like you know, for example, somebody lying to you. Once you get some
yeah,
used to somebody lying so much, you you can feel how that feel. You like, damn, they lying. Like I can feel like it's a signature to a lie, like or a
yeah,
signature to happiness or a signature to like embarrassment. You're like, damn, they feel kind of
yeah,
embarrassed. And then sometimes it's showing the body language. But if it don't show in the body language, you gotta sense and feel like with your heart, like where it's at, how it is. Like even okay in boxing, you know, get a guy hurt. I can feel that mug hurt. Like every time I hit him, I can feel his energy leaving his body, yo. And then
yeah,
that make me like step up the game
yeah,
because you know they done displayed that signature of hurt.
yeah.
So why I feel like you looking at me? Who this? And which one of us are you talking to? Zatoni. What's up? How you doing though? You talking to Simha or Eric? Both of you. I mean, we looking at the audience. I don't know. Tell me how that feel. I feel like we looking at you. I mean, I guess we looking at the audience. Man, also, man, we probably speaking to your soul. This is unity consciousness over here. So we are looking at a different aspect of ourselves. Hey, man, I appreciate you. I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but I appreciate your response. Man, yeah, we just talking, man. I was just like, man, we talking. we dropping some knowledge, and man, when me and him talk, we just come up with whatever's on top of the dome, and we just start going in. So we wanted to make it public, so it might be like a good learning lesson for us. Yeah, yeah.
Dang.
We are
So
an
yeah.
aspect of you. We are one, because we was talking about the mind and how the mind is. Everybody individual mind is just a code, but it's all the same. It's a code in the matrix. Like when you see the matrix and the lines going on, those are just all codes, but it's all the matrix.
Mm.
It's just everybody got their own signature code and their own signature frequency that you can tap into. And when we tap into a certain frequency, we can tap into all of you. You can tap into me, and we like are connected in that way. So yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It gets deep up in these waters over here.
Always, man.
Swimming in the ocean of consciousness of all things. All things are me and all things are you. We are one being. We just separated by a code, our own signature. And to tap in, you got to let go of the code that you think you are. You got to loosen up and detach from your code, and you can start looking at other codes, other signatures to tap into.
Mm.
What role does the ego play? I'm going to let you have this one, Eric.
The ego, man.
What role does the ego play in your opinions?
Yeah. Wood Road, man. I think it's just kind of part of this type of existence. It's a very dense vibrational type of existence. Like when you dream, it lightens up, right? You can fly, you can be in one country and you open the door and walk into the living room and you in another country. You can talk to someone and blink and the same person morphs into another person.
Right?
Dreams are very loose, but this reality is very dense. It kind of has a certain inertia to it, a certain
Mm,
tendency to stay the same without striving or without, applying a fresh mental energy to it. And
mm,
yeah, so I think the ego is kind of like a product of like the mind being in this type of realm,
yeah.
but it's there to help us um, create what it is that we want when it serves us. But also it can provide a form of resistance in the absence of us exerting the freshness of our mental energies to create what we want in this realm. So when it takes the driver's seat, it's disruptive, but it's
Mm,
also at the same time playing duty as a reminder
mm,
that just by the form of resistance.
mm-hmm. That's why I be
That's
like,
how I see it. Yeah,
that's why I be encouraging meditation so much because it give you a break from your ego. You
yeah.
can let you can let go of all of your desires in your heart, all of the thoughts in your mind, all of the things you think you want, personality and the attachments you got. You can like in meditation, you can put all that shit down and just rest in your spirit and
Mm,
like you can start thinking from your spiritual mind instead of your ego material mind of just wanting and striving and trying to do. And then once you at a more restful state of putting all of those things down, that's kind of like the avatar state, like an avatar. Only way
yeah,
you can get to the avatar state unless he put everything down. and then he can go to his a higher level of mind and a higher level of thinking and being to where he just operating like a master.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it makes you less heavy too, because what make you heavy is grabbing and holding to all these thoughts and ideas, man. That just puts you like it weigh you down so much. You can feel people that have so much heaviness and the weight of the world on their shoulders because they got so many things that they attach to and things that they need to do and all these pet peeves they got. But when you like enter your state of meditation, man, you light. You the feather now. You light as the feather.
Oh yeah.
So now you can float, fly, and make perfect actions.
Yeah. And then it's like the amazing thing is how the body does what the mind does, but you could reverse engineer to where you adapt the body and the mind follows suit.
Right?
You
Man,
know?
that's how we condition these days, yo. We
Yeah.
just like, all right, our mind is following our body. Like that shit. Bro, that's just so retarded now. Now that I think about it, like the way they
Yeah.
condition us in this society, they making our body let them follow our mind. We go to work every day, make
Yeah.
this money, and be a slave to the system, and man,
Yeah.
we are not being guided by our mind at all. And our mind and our spirit is like fucking dying in the inside. Like, this is not life. This is not how we're supposed to be.
Mm. What does that say? Would that also then mean that there's an ego of one's too? Like how does one overcome, say, the creator's ego?
Man, I don't think we can.
The
That's
creator's ego.
like in the whole scheme of things.
Mm.
I think that's like inescapable. In this universe, that is. I don't know nothing about no other new universes, but in this universes, it has everything has a purpose and a function. Just like everything in the sea and the ocean has a purpose and a function. You got things that eat other things. You got things that eat plant life. You got things that's at the bottom of the ocean doing its function, and it operates a different way. Just like us, we just here to operate, in a way that, wherever we came into, our spirit came down into this vessel and to be this personality to do a certain function. And to overcome that, how can you? I don't understand how you can overcome that. Why are you here in this existence?
Mm.
Only thing I would say is you meditate to lift up out of these desires, lift up out of these, these ideologies. You rise above it, and you just in your state of being in meditation. But that being is, is peace.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a nothingness, but a somethingness. But it's like it's not absent-mindedness. It's like empty-mindedness, just
Mm.
being. That's a way to overcome briefly your ego thoughts. But as soon as you out of that state, you come back down into this existence, back into your body and your existence and your being and your function. So what you do every day as this personality.
Yeah. I think about it like a like witnessing.
Mm,
Like witnessing, Like you don't have to be attached to anything. You're not grabbing onto any thoughts, judging any thoughts. You're just
mm,
witnessing. You're just there observing.
right?
You don't feel any type of way about it. It's just everything's spontaneous. I mean, if you feel a certain way, it's not because you've attached some belief or some judgment to it. It's just, oh wow, that was pleasant. Oh, that was awkward. Whatever the energy is, it just
Mm,
comes spontaneously. But instead of attaching to it, you're just witnessing. Even witnessing your own reaction to things, you're just witnessing. And so now, if you could witness yourself, then who are you? Who's doing the witnessing? And then ask, who are you? Who are you
that's
really?
oh man. That's like self-reflective. It's like pointing, but it's also pointing back at yourself.
Yeah.
Dang. That's a good example. Witnessing. That's a good way to put it. Operating without judgment, just being. Like that's a higher level of being. It ain't. There's no emotional charge to nothing that you're doing. You're just being what you need to be in every moment, and
Yeah.
nothing's slowing you down. Like sometimes your ego can slow you down with all these different thoughts of, oh, I feel this way. This thing is happening. I think this, like, that's
Yeah.
all like interfering with the like thought process. That comes back to the to Goku having Ultra Instinct because
Mm.
he's being what he need to be in that moment. That's like enlightenment.
Yeah.
He's making all the perfect actions in every moment. Every moment that he fighting, he making perfect actions.
Just spontaneously.
Just spontaneously making all the perfect actions. He's like, his mind is not in the way no more. His ego not in the way.
Yeah.
He being and doing. He doing what he need to do in the moment to, win the fight. And there's no thoughts that's obstructing his path.
So
It's
all
like,
that is, yeah.
what's that joint? It's like gold. It has a perfect charge. Like, whatever you charge it here is the same amount here. Like, it's a perfect conductivity.
Mm.
Like how the brain reacts to anything that happens over here is an equal action over here. Like the time that it takes for you to react,
Oh yeah.
it's no time. It's instant.
But it slow down when you start thinking about this thing and that thing.
Yeah, thinking, yeah, you really,
Directing current in all these different directions.
right,
You losing signal. You
right. You lose
know,
a signal.
you might be observing. You can observe a situation but be distracted, not really be fully there. Or you could be fully there and it's like you getting a full signal. You getting a clear signal,
Mm.
you know?
So would you say that he agrees to an internal death and then rises back to the physical? Yeah, because once he go to that state of being, he like put that. How you say he can even take that like that God power. He like rises to the state of the gods and emanates that posture and the physicality. And sometimes that's too much of a vibration for the body to handle because the body not designed to be like a god. Only with training can you get better at that state. And then in the real world, we call that state the zone in athletics.
You know,
And that's a high state to be in. That's like total brain activation, brain and heart. Because your heart, you just feeling and sensing. Your brain is thinking. And when you in that state, your brain and heart in harmony, perfect harmony. That's
yeah,
like what they call fusion. Man, there's this movie, The Man Who Fell to the Earth. You ever see that?
maybe, maybe.
So they talking about free energy. They from Mars, and this being he's coming to Earth to try to create this free energy device.
Okay.
And they got a technology called fusion, where you combine two elements that create infinite energy. Like but
Okay.
this is what they're trying to create. This is like, this like the too, and the Kemetic thing. You got the masculine pole and the feminine quality, which creates eternal life.
Okay.
And then you got, in the Oriental tradition, they got the yin and yang thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's complete life. That's it created infinite energy circuit.
Mm.
If nothing leaves, it's constantly cycled eternally. See, and that's what we have in our
Perpetually.
mind and heart. Yeah, when we in the zone, we create an infinite state of being. Like once these things are in harmony,
Yeah.
it creates a constant cycle of infinite energy.
Oh man.
It's just like also with man and woman when they come together, they
Yeah.
produce themselves throughout
Yeah.
time. That's infinite immortality right there.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is to create a fusion of your mind and your heart and your body.
That's interesting. So like thinking about the yin and yang, I was thinking about the that question, you know, agreeing to eternal death and rising back to the physical realm, right? And I would say it depends on the point of reference, right? So if you're saying if life to the observer is more associated with the external, then then the internal is the death. But when the perspective, when the observer is looking at life like the internal is life more so than the external,
Mm,
then that same process is external death.
mm,
And so, but that kind of reminds me like the bit of yang and the yin and the bit of yin and the yang.
right? Yeah,
It all
yeah.
depends on perspective. So life and death is the same thing, the same way yin and yang is the same thing.
It's
It
just
depends on,
lesser expressed
yeah,
over here and more expressed over there. And then it switches sides back and forth infinitely. Mm, it's a good point. See, yeah, with those symbols, that's life itself. Yin and yang is just life itself in every way. It's in all things.
oh yeah,
Oh, did we answer this
and
question?
it's
So
like the
then is fusion what we do with the creator and meditation on the path to becoming gods? That's a good question. I think it is. I think we becoming God incarnate, manifested in the physical form, which is God is like law, which is
mm,
it's the great law manifested inside of you. You got full knowledge and operation of it. I think that's what like becoming God is.
mm,
Like the great law is manifested in your every action and being as a human,
mm,
and you realize this every moment. So that is a type of fusion with and connecting with that circuit. It's like an infinite energy cycle. You merge in two things. You merge in the physical realm and you merge in the spiritual realm, and you become one with that. And you see like that.
yeah,
You see with your spirit and your body.
man. I think it's like it's interesting because we experience things like stories. You got a quest. You have a journey. You have the hero's journey. We have different things that occur one after another in sequence that take us from one place and lead us to another. So we talk about like the idea of becoming gods, but also from the mechanical view or more of like the underlying view of what's actually going on outside of that programming or those ideas of a journey. It's that
Hmm.
there's a different nature to it. And that's like you got to ask, like, okay, for a God, if a God is beyond space and time, then you to be a God, you have to have always been a God.
Mm,
You can't become a God. Now you can experience becoming a God. That experience is something that you can have because that's a perspective. It's a reference. But what's actually happening under the hood, so to speak, is that you're remembering that you've always been God.
mm. Woo. I think my My consciousness is raising having this conversation, boy.
Hey man, I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, when
I'm
I
gonna take a
talk
moment of
about this
silence
stuff,
after
it's
that.
like, huh?
I'll take a moment of silence after that. Yeah.
Man, I
It's like,
I go
yeah.
into a channel because like we just channeling, man. Like I know when I speak from experience, but also I speak also new knowledge comes through as I speak. So I'm like getting messages from the things that I'm saying. Like I'm coming to like aha moments as I'm
Mm,
expressing, often. So it's like I'm channeling, that that um that God energy that we're bringing, as if we're bringing it through a portal by meeting here on live and talking, having this conversation, you know.
mm. Yeah, I think it's things that's like we channeling like our whole life experience, like all the things that you came across, you're able to articulate it in a way that can be received in this moment.
Mm.
All of your experiences, it's like we already know what's going on, but we able to articulate it now. We able to draw from, what we read, people interviews we saw, we able to and then fuse that with our own experience, and relay it. And it's just all of our realizations coming to the forefront now.
Mm.
See, we channeling our whole life experience.
Yeah,
All right,
man,
man. Let's see.
been
How long we
live,
going? Huh?
been
We're gonna
live.
have to have some random chats for more often.
Yeah, for sure. I'm about to get some shut eye because I'm trying to stay aligned to the rhythms of nature.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
I feel that. You got to be in tune with the cycle. Hey, next we can come on here and talk about some health stuff.
Oh, for sure, for
We
sure.
can
Yeah.
solely talk about like health and fitness.
Hey, it's really the same thing. It's just it's just different levels.
What up, cuz?
It's,
Orlando just got on here.
what up? Oh,
Man, we just having chats, late night chats about spirituality, life, death, uh, mind, body, and spirit awareness. Just remember, we're one being going through this family. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Thanks
indeed.
for tuning in. Might have to have you on a chat next. We can get a few people up in here. Just random talks and see what spirit manifests out of us.
Oh
People's
yeah,
energies create a specific signature. Like we
yeah,
create a different code.
yeah.
When two forces come together, it's a whole new thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. We just talking about the matrix. Matrix not bad things. It's just a way to describe a reality, how it works, its signatures. It's all about how you use it,
Indeed. Use it. Don't let it use you.
right? Except have you a slave. Either
Yeah,
have you a
man.
slave to it. You see. I wonder if I can add you to. Let me see. Let's see. Can I add him and you, or I can only add one person at a time?
I don't know, man. Try it out.
Let me see. Oh, he declined. Look at this. I'm seeing one other sent the request to be in your video. But oh, somebody did ask to be in the video. Let me see. I sent. I accepted the request. I'm still fairly new to this live stuff.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Here's some music.
Oh, that's me. That's me listening to the smooth jazz. But it could be somebody else. I don't know. It looked like somebody else on the screen.
Yeah, that was I think that was he ain't in right now though. Maybe he had a problem connecting.
Yeah, I don't know how this worked though. There's somebody else that
Yeah.
wanted to go live too. Yeah, I was trying to add you to the chat. I don't know how to do that though. I'm still a virgin at this live stuff, so
He was in there for a minute and then it closed out.
kick them out. Maybe you ain't got the right code to enter. You're gonna have to get the pass. You're gonna have to send Morpheus to wake you up. Yo, what up? Who this? Who entered the live?
What's up,
What's
man?
good?
I'm good,
Who
man.
am I
What's up?
speaking with?
So cuz
Huh?
that's my cousin, Scout.
Oh, I see it.
Oh,
On your,
you,
on,
man.
on your mom's side, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you guys know
Man.
each other.
Huh?
I didn't know you guys know each other.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is my homie. We go way back. How you? Hold on.
Dang.
Well, you know me.
Dang,
You
Eric.
know
Is
me from
this,
somewhere? I know too many
huh?
people. Say, you know me from somewhere?
No, man. I followed you on my old account, so I got me a new Instagram account.
Oh, word.
That's why we doing all my artwork and stuff. So
Oh, snap. I probably
at
like
least
some of
that's
your
just
art
all I
then.
can
You're
do
an
right
artist.
now. Just trying to be like a professional, trying to like get some ideas, trying to sell my artwork. Trying to do something better.
Mm.
All for the followers, but I'll be posting all my other stuff on TikTok. 'Cause, that's where it is right now. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I
Yeah.
still need more help though.
Man, I'll
But
promote
everything
some of
else
your
is going
stuff.
good, man. So I
Oh,
so I
yeah.
just be
Me and
following.
Eric go way back, man. We go way back. We went to college together.
Dang, Eric, family secrets, man.
Yeah, yeah,
You
man.
ain't tell me all this, man. Because of Eric, man, how you been, man?
Oh man, I've been good. Been good, man. Just staying in the gym, enjoying it.
Man, I need me a personal trainer.
All right.
Cause, cause, I mean, I'm skinny, but I need some muscles. Cause all I've been doing is lifting weights, like 15 ton, like 15 pound, and then push ups. That's all I can do.
Mm.
Hey,
Eric
that's
So
all.
getting on for this right here, boy.
yeah, I'm trying to get like you guys.
Yeah. Where you
And it's
from? Where
like
you at?
um I'm actually from Charlotte, really.
From Charlotte, North
Yeah,
Carolina.
man. I'm trying to go back.
Where you
Oh,
at now?
Um, I really don't want to say
That
like
boy
on
don't
social
want to say
media.
like, man, I can't
No,
tell you where I'm at,
no,
man.
no, 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 but not
That boy in Ar he
probably
in Arkham Asylum.
like probably in person, whenever you whenever you and I meet like in person, maybe I would tell you, but
No, it's
it's
all
like
good,
certain things
man.
you can't really say on social media. So, I'm trying to like stay
Yeah.
smart.
It
yeah.
is some crazy
Yeah,
MF.
man. But
You in my neck of the woods. You still in my neck of the woods, though, right?
Huh?
You in my neck